WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Cash Matlock. Well, some folks in our area may be getting a new internet option. Tom Bigby Electric Power Association announced a plan to begin a new broadband network service. Our Stephanie Poole has more on the story.
Tom Bigby Electric Power Association can now serve 100% of their members with internet. This is made possible through the Mississippi Electric Power Association Law and Broadband Enabling Act, which allows co-ops to provide broadband services.
We began to embark on bridging the digital divide and bringing rural Mississippi out of the digital dark.
Public Service Commissioner Brandon Presley says adding broadband services will improve the quality of life for residents.
Every one of those meetings, you heard the story. I can't connect to the outside world, and here's why I have to go to McDonald's for my child to do homework. Here I have to go to a library to simply access and print something off. We simply will not have a region that will flourish, grow, or even be here if we do not provide high-speed internet service.
Tom Bigby Electric Power Association says it's projected to cost around $95 million, mostly covering Lee and Itawamba counties.
I feel like that this is historic not only for education, not only for telehealth, telemedicine, but also to improve the quality of life for our people. Our folks will be able to connect to the outside world and be able to live a modern life in rural Mississippi the same way folks in New York City live.
Tom Bigby will partner with Connexon for design and construction of the network. The project will then go through 4 phases to be approved by the board of directors.
We are confident that we can do this, and we are confident that it's a much needed product for our citizens. It's a big opportunity for us, and I think it'll be something we'll be proud of.
We want to make sure that we preserve our rural people, preserve our rural communities by bringing high-speed fiber to the home internet service, which is future-proof, the best you can get. Tom Bigby has taken a momentous step to save our rural communities, but also to further economic development, quality of life right here in North Mississippi.
Well, a start date for the broadband services have not been decided yet. Families in Mississippi are still reeling from a record series of ICE raids that saw hundreds of immigrants arrested. Images of children crying after their parents were taken away angered many, but President Trump says he wants to see more raids. CNN's Nick Valencia reports.
680 undocumented immigrants detained on the outskirts of Jackson, Mississippi. All workers from food processing plants in what the U.S. attorney here called the largest single state operation in ICE history.
Now, while we are a nation of immigrants, more than that, we are first and foremost a nation of laws.
An ICE spokesman told CNN the raids were part of a broader federal criminal investigation into these companies, and probable cause affidavits obtained by CNN showed the U.S. Department of Justice looking for things like identity fraud and whether owners of the raided plants followed protocol to ensure they were not hiring undocumented labor.
My dad didn't do nothing. He's not a criminal.
Caught in the middle, hundreds of children separated from their parents. Some of the adults were taken first to a National Guard hangar, others sent to ICE facilities in neighboring states.
The administration tells CNN that all children have been either reunited with their parents or family members. One family that we spoke to here says a 3-year-old who is currently with family members has not been able to get in touch with her mother. They believe that she's currently being held at an ICE detention facility in Gina, Louisiana.
It's unclear just how many of the immigrants were parents. Locals estimate up to half, but ICE could not corroborate. An ICE official did say that almost half of those detained were released, most with pending court dates.
Governments, please put your heart. Let my parents be free with everybody else, please. Don't leave the child with cryingness and everything.
Towns like Morton, Mississippi, the site of one of the raids, are now ghost towns. Residents tell CNN local Latino-owned businesses are closing early, while others are afraid to go outside altogether. Some residents saying it feels like a funeral.
What's it feel like knowing somebody that you love, your aunt, was detained, was caught in these raids?
I don't want to say it's hate, but it's really there's no way to understand it. Yeah, there's not a way to understand it. I feel like you have to experience it to know.
The anxiety so pervasive that more than a quarter of the Latino students in a local district didn't show up for school on Thursday. the day after the raids. And on Friday, the entire school district went on lockdown after it received what it described as suspicious phone calls, causing more fear in a community that's already shaken.
And that fear may soon become a reality if the White House gets its way. According to a senior immigration official, the Trump administration has directed more of this workplace-type enforcement this year, asking local ICE field offices to identify potential targets in their regions. Nick Valencia, CNN, Jackson, Mississippi.
Well, it's time now for the first look at our forecast with meteorologist Kendall Smith. Hey, Kendall.
Hey, Cash. Well, we saw some showers and thunderstorms roll through our area earlier this afternoon and evening, but the good news is they have all dissipated, leaving us with a pretty nice Saturday night in store. Now, this is taking a live look in downtown Columbus on our Alpha Insurance Sky camera, where we're seeing clear conditions. Temperatures area-wide are sitting in the upper 70s and low 80s. 77 here in Columbus, 80 is our warm spot in Tupelo, and 73 in Starkville. Now, as we go throughout your overnight hours, temperatures will dip down into the low 70s with partly cloudy skies expected.
All right, thanks, Kendall. Well, the Oktibbeha County Humane Society hosted its annual dog paddle dog paddle today, in Starkville. WCBI's Tyler Hull has more on the story.
The Oktibbeha County Humane Society held its 9th annual dog paddle on Saturday at Moncrief Park. The event is a way to help raise money for the Humane Society. Owners also get the opportunity to meet one another. And most importantly, the dogs get a chance to take a dip in the pool.
This event is so fun. All the dogs are really friendly. This is my first year bringing my dog, but he's having a good time just going in the water. Some dogs like water more than others, but most still enjoy running around. And the owners like meeting others' dogs, and, I like meeting all the dogs too.
The event also provides a change of pace for lifeguards.
Oh, it's a lot of work. Very hectic out here, but it's a lot of fun. Keep you active on the stand. We kind of watch out for dogs and humans.
Board member of the Oktibbeha County Humane Society, Amy Arhus, is happy to see the growth that the event has seen over the years.
We came down here and decided this would be a fun thing for our shelter as well, and the Oktibbeha County Humane Society has grown this year after year after year.
Arhus hopes to see even more people and dogs next year. Tyler Hull, WCBI News.
Well, today was the last day for the pool to be opened before it's drained for the summer. And today also, many people gathered in Tupelo to celebrate the life and career of Elvis Presley. Hundreds showed up to his birthplace to show their appreciation to the king of rock and roll. There were also free tours for everyone that wanted to see his childhood home and more. One Elvis fan says she traveled around 6 hours to be at the appreciation ceremony today.
It means basically everything. I cannot even remember a time in my life that I wasn't an Elvis fan. It's been, I started when I was 11, and that's been all the way. Thank you for every single time. I'm gonna end up crying. Thank you for every single time he's been there.
Well, Elvis Week will continue through August 17th. A Tupelo man who has a striking resemblance to a tragic historical figure wants to educate the public about the life-saving power of radio. WCBI's Chad Groening has more.
Alan Sudduth has been a ham radio operator since 1956. And most every morning at 9 o'clock, he puts on a demonstration at the Tupelo Veterans Museum. He has a strong resemblance to this man, Edward John Smith, the captain of the HMS Titanic. Sudduth says on April 15, 1912, the radio operator on board the doomed ship in fact saved many lives. Sudduth says they wanted to set up a Titanic radio room display at the museum. In fact, one of the radios on display was a Marconi, similar to the one used on the Titanic.
If it hadn't been for ham radio, there would have been no survivors on the Titanic. As it was, there was approximately 700 that were saved and probably 1,700 that passed away.
And Sudduth says his resemblance to Smith was one of the reasons he decided to do Living History.
Actually, the gentleman that owns the Veterans Museum said, well, you look just exactly like the captain. Of course, I take my glasses off because the captain only wore glasses when he was reading. He had reading glasses.
And Sudduth wanted an authentic uniform.
My wife and my sister helped me pick out and of course I ordered the captain's hat. This is my This is the one I wear, but this is the one like it. It's got the actual white star emblem, star line emblem on it.
And Sutter says ham radios continue to help mariners in distress more than 100 years later. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Tupelo.
The Tupelo Veterans Museum is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Shocking news on a national child sex traffic story. More on that after the break. Stay with us. Disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein died Saturday after apparently hanging himself in his jail cell in New York City as he awaited trial on charges of sex trafficking and sexually abusing underage girls. CBS News' Mola Lingyi has the latest.
Jeffrey Epstein was found unresponsive Saturday morning at New York City's Metropolitan Correctional Center and pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Epstein's apparent suicide by hanging comes as the wealthy and well-connected financier awaited trial on charges including federal sex trafficking and sexually abusing dozens of underage girls. The 66-year-old who led a life of luxury with mansions and a private jet was denied bail in July after pleading not guilty in federal court. At the time, one of his accusers urged others to come forward.
This is no surprise that Jeffrey Epstein was also sexually abusing girls in New York. He did it everywhere. And as long as the victims speak up, he isn't going to get away this time.
Epstein's reported failed suicide attempt last month here at this same facility is now raising many questions about how exactly this happened and the suicide watch policy here. In a statement, U.S. Attorney General William Barr said he was appalled by the news and that the Inspector General will investigate in addition to the FBI.
I can tell you that on behalf of the victims I've represented, there's a certain amount of shock and disbelief that the federal authorities could allow something like this to occur under their watch.
One of Epstein's accusers, angry he won't face justice, said in a statement, "We will have to live with the scars of his actions for the rest of our lives." Mola Lingyi, CBS News, New York.
Well, we could see a scattered shower or storm to finish off this weekend, but a dangerous heat wave will make its way into our area by the beginning of next week. More on those details coming up next.
Your first alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Kendall Smith.
Well, we saw quite a bit of thunderstorm activity this afternoon and evening. This picture was sent in to us by Davis Jordan of a thunderstorm rolling in to Old West Point Road earlier this afternoon. But then those storms left behind a really pretty sunset. This picture was sent in to us by Rita Neighbors of a sunset in Starkville. Now, if you ever get any pictures like this, make sure to send them in to us at WCBI Weather on all social media platforms. We would love to see them. And we are currently dry. This is taking a live look in downtown Tupelo on our Alpha Insurance Sky Camera, where temperatures are currently sitting at 80 degrees, the dew point at 75, so it is pretty hot and muggy out there. You just feel it when you're walking outside, and that's what we're seeing. Temperatures area-wide much of the same, sitting in the mid-70s, 75 in Macon, 77 in Louisville, 73 a little cooler in Starkville, and 80 is our warm spot up in Tupelo. Now, as we go throughout your overnight hours, temperatures will dip down into the low 70s. Can't rule out the chance to see a stray shower or two, but we look to see mostly cloudy skies for the most part, and winds will be calm out of the west around 2 to 5 miles an hour. So, partly cloudy skies out there. That's going to continue to be the trend for your overnight hours, and by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, lots of sunshine is expected for your Sunday. However, the clouds do start to increase a little bit by lunchtime, and then by the afternoon, we could see 1 or 2 pop-up showers. But for the most part, most of us do look to be dry all day for your Sunday, and then we look to dry things back out and look to see mostly clear skies for your overnight hours on Sunday as well. Now, check out these future heat index values behind me. By tomorrow afternoon, temperatures could climb into the upper 90s to low 100s, so it's going to be another summer scorcher in store for us tomorrow. Make sure to stay hydrated and try to stay indoors if you plan to go outside. Just try to take frequent breaks. And for that very reason, the majority of our viewing area is issued under an excessive heat advisory all the way until Tuesday at 8 p.m. And this heat advisory might even get bumped up to an excessive heat warning as we head into the beginning of next week, because we are about to be under an excessive dangerous heat wave. So by Monday morning, we look to be dry, and we look to be dry all throughout the day on Monday, but we're under an upper level ridge of high pressure, which brings that dangerous heat wave with us. So all dry all day Monday, looks to be all dry on Tuesday as well. But the good news is by Tuesday overnight hours heading into Wednesday and Thursday, check this out. This cold front will be bringing us some relief, and we could see some rain chances by the end of this week. So area-wide tomorrow, temperatures will top out in the low 90s, looking much of the same for our southern counties, maybe a little bit warmer, mid-90s. And then West Alabama, low to mid-90s are expected as well. So this is going to be another summer scorcher. When you factor in that heat index, it will feel like the triple digits. Temperatures, check this out, on Monday will be in the upper 90s, and then we'll drop back down just a little bit for overnight lows in the mid-70s.
The quarterback competition continues in Starkville. Hear from the Bulldogs at Media Day next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Well, just 3 weeks from today, Mississippi State gets back to the gridiron to begin the 2019 season. Last season, MSU boasted the #1 defense in the country. But after losing players like Jeffrey Simmons, Montez Sweat, and Jonathan Abram to the NFL, where does that leave them? Defensive coordinator Bob Shoop saying at Media Day, the scheme looks to be staying the same, even with some new faces.
Who the blitzers are and what blitzes we run, may be different than they were a year ago. And certainly there may be, so it won't be very specific. But again, I think that style of play will remain very similar.
Our mindset is still going to be the same. I seen where he was talking about how not adjusting the formations, but attacking formations. That's always going to be the same. Our style of play, like he said, is non-negotiable. I seen that. So, that's one thing that's going to stay the same, just the style of play that we use.
We had a standard before we have here, and that's, championship defense. So kudos to those guys that left, but that doesn't stop anything. We have one style of play, and that's the fast, physical, and aggressive. So I feel like we haven't missed a beat at all.
That would be an indirect focus, is to pick up what they left off, but being the best group we can be. And I think if we focus on being that every day we come to work, I feel like we'll pick up what they left off.
Head coach Joe Moorhead also addressing junior linebacker Willie Gay's lower body injury. Gay is still out of practice with that injury, but Moorhead saying that he expects him to be back early next week. Over in Oxford, Ole Miss working diligently to get fans hyped up for the upcoming athletic season. The annual event, Meet the Rebels at the Manning Center, was hosted today, inviting fans to come meet their favorite fall sport coaches and athletes. Fans were able to get autographs from their favorite Ole Miss players. The football, soccer, volleyball, and cross-country teams all in attendance, along with the Spirit Squads, as well as Tony the Land Shark. And if you just can't wait another 3 weeks for college football, then you're in luck, because NFL preseason kicking off this week. Here's a look at some of today's final scores. The Giants and former Ole Miss Rebel Eli Manning topped the Jets 31-22. The Atlanta Falcons fall to the Miami Dolphins 34-27. The Titans top the Philadelphia Eagles 27-10. And the Panthers beat out the Chicago Bears 23-13. The Saints fall to the Vikings 34-25. There's more games going on right now if you're looking to watch them after you finish watching us here on WCBI. The high school football tour continues on. We check in with stop number 48, the Shannon Red Raiders. Their preview next in sports. Stay with us. Our next stop on the high school football tour checks in with the Shannon Red Raiders. Coming off last year's division crown, the Red Raiders hope to pick up where they left off. Shannon is stop number 48 on our high school football tour.
WCBI's 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Sparklight.
This year, we more determined, to do something that we ain't never did before.
The Shannon Red Raiders enter the season more focused than ever. After an early playoff exit, Shannon returns 11 starters from last year's talented team, but some young guys will have to step up as the Red Raiders will feature a new quarterback.
Jordan brought a lot of experience. Jordan starting his third game his freshman year, and threw for a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns, but mainly not trying to make them carry the load. Keith Shannon is the leading guy right now. Jamarcus Shine is right there with him, but we're going to rotate both of those guys, man. They're very athletic, and we're going to keep it simple for them so they can be successful.
So we seniors, man, we coming up dealing with young guys, unexperienced. We just trying to put them in position and get them better and get them on the field so they could do what we did last year.
As the offense rounds into form, the Red Raiders will hang their hat on a stingy defense that players say can rival last year's.
Defense, we looking better. We might be better than last year. The defense stopped. We coming back strong this year. Yeah, we coming. We're going to be straight. I think the defense is going to be probably the best defense in 4A. I don't think nobody will be able to run through it.
This is a confident bunch that has its eyes set on defending its division crown.
Do the same thing, a repeat. Win out and beat those teams again. We're going to win it again. They're going to have to come with it. 4A. We got this. Oh, yeah.
Same expectation every year. Try to take it one game at a time and win a division. So, you know, nothing changes even with a new class going in and coming in or one going out. You know, expectations are the same, and the only thing we do is just take it one game at a time and be consistent.
Shannon kicks off the season August 23rd with a home matchup against Corinth. With the Red Raiders on the high school football tour, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
Well, believe it or not, but just one Friday stands between us and the first Friday of the high school football season. I don't know about you, but I am very excited to get started. But that doesn't mean we don't have any more stops left on the high school football tour. Still 12 stops to go in our 60 and 60 marathon. Sunday, we will be checking in with the Itawamba AHS Indians. Monday, for stop number 50, we'll be checking in with the good old New Hope Trojans. And then coming up on Tuesday, for stop number 51, we'll be checking in with Caledonia. And then to head into Hump Day on Wednesday, we'll be checking in with New Albany. And also, of course, if you've missed any of those stops along the way, you can always go check them out on our website at WCBI.com. Well, that's it for sports. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back with your last look at your weather. Stay with us.
Tonight here at WCBI, it's Kendall's last show.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.